So guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's so disheartening that the word of the Bible that says that nations will start to rise against nations and kingdoms shall rise against kingdoms. I believe that has been happening for a very long time, right? But obviously we've just not seen that. I've just not seen that in Africa. Well, it's been happening in some sort of Africa, like Sudan, all of these places where there's been genocide. And then will you probably be thinking that why is that Mama 5 talking about, nations rising against nations, kingdoms rising against kingdom? I saw a video about where South Africans went into, some people call the was the movement for what do they call them, Dudula, Operation Dudula. Yeah, I wrote it down so I don't forget. Operation Dudula. They went into hospitals and saying that if you're not South African, get out, you'll not be treated. I'll drop that video there for you so you guys can watch it.
If you know yourself that you're not South African, please stand up. Please stand up. Please don't try and stand up right now. Stand up. Sister, are you South African? Are you South African? Because we are going to check everybody. Check them. Please, if you're not South African, come with me. Come. Come with me. Come. Sister, come. You guys are not South African, go out. You can go to Unjani, block P there, or Opotila Hospital, go. Hey, fast. Because Zimbabwe, you run past on good. Because Zimbabwe, you run past on good to the border. Hurry. South African? Please stand up. If you know yourself that you're not South African, please will confirm. All these nurses and doctors, they are here for South Africans. Get them South Africa. Please stand up. Don't try us. What's that? You run past the border again.
So did you see from that video? They went into hospital saying that if you're not South African, get out. If you don't have a South African passport, get out. You're not going to be treated. They were chasing people out. Like, guys, when did we get here? When did we get here? So South Africans are chasing people who are Nigerians, Zimbabweans, people who are like not South Africa. They are chasing them out. And this is not the first time this thing has been happening. Obviously, this motion or this kind of behavior happened because a certain politician called something, is it Andre Lesufi, if that's his name or not, saying that it's black immigrants that are causing all the mayhem that is going on in South Africa, obviously because healthcare system, blah blah blah, that is a black immigrants that are causing all of this. How? And it's just so disheartening. That was why I said that about, obviously, nations rising against nations and kingdoms rising against kingdoms. See, even though we know all of this is happening in Iran, Iraq, that has been happening for years, but now Africans, we are now rising against ourselves. Like, why? Like I said, they went into that hospital saying if you don't have a South African passport, that you should get out, you will not be treated. If you're not South African, you can't be treated in an hospital. And in another word, in another video again, also in South Africa, a 35 weeks pregnant woman was turned away. Here's the video.
Susan. She's from Zimbabwe. She's 35 weeks pregnant. She has been turned away from receiving healthcare at the OR Tambo clinic in Diepsloot.
Maybe mtana sikati sakhe sokuthi aphume sifikile mina kumapheni wangijikisa. Izobe inye problem. Maybe ngizobuya lapha endlini, ngithethele endlini and then angitholanga help. Mina nomntana singakona kusho.
You guys saw that. So a Zimbabwean woman, 35 weeks pregnant, was turned away. And the hospital in questions are doing nothing. So how can touts come into an hospital, a government hospital, saying that if you're not South African, you will not be treated? They are chasing them away. What is the management of that hospital doing? Is there no security to ask those people to leave? Because at the end of the day, this hospital that these other black immigrants are going is meant to be like a public hospital where they will be able to receive free healthcare, right? Now,
security at this clinic aren't doing anything to stop these ID checks. They say it's not part of their job description.
I mean, some South Africans are saying, no, if you don't have a South African passport, you can't be treated. They are chasing them. You can imagine chasing a 35 weeks pregnant woman out of hospital. And there been a video as well where I saw that not all of the South Africans are, are in line with the operation. What do they call them? Operation what's this called? Operation Dudula. Some people are not. Some South Africans are not. No, they are not happy with them because there was a riot that happened some time ago, and these people they were there to make sure that the Operation Dudula did not take over. They were able to disperse the protesters the way that come. This is not about black immigrants coming into South Africa, but obviously corruption. Just as we have corruption going on in Nigeria, there's corruption in their governments.
Guys' bodies are doing a good job, and what these guys are doing is wrong.
People are really sick and they don't have money. They need help. So what will happen if someone dies there?
You can imagine corruption in the government of South Africans, and they are now putting that energy on black migrants that are coming into their country. Like, why don't you face your country? And I understand, I'm speaking to myself as well, that why don't we face our country? We are facing our country, hence why Showore, Baba Tinubu went to Brazil to tell them that there's no more corruption in Nigeria. And Showore did something, put up a post, and then the DSS are now messaging Meta to remove Showore's account because Showore counter that talk of Baba Tinubu saying in Brazil that there's no corruption in Nigeria. Like, how long are we going to do this for? There's corruption in South Africa. So South Africans, why don't you put that energy onto your government as well? Because yes, there's corruption, right? And I even heard that from next year, that a certain organization announced that from next year, that they will start going into schools in South Africa to remove children who are in schools. Either you enter into South Africa legally or illegally, that they are going to start removing children in schools because they are not South Africans. Like, what is going on? And in my own case, I was starting to, in my own opinion, if you look at the people that are being castigated or that are being chased by the South Africans, they are just black migrants. It's only the black people that are being chased. How about those who are non-black? This is selective racism. Obviously, nobody should have to go through racism in their life, but a black person being racist against a black person in Africa, make it make sense. Selective racism. Why? Why is selective racism? Why are you treating black migrants the way you're treating them? No one deserves this. No one deserves this. Yes, the government of Zimbabweans are not saying anything. Nigerian government are not saying anything. South African government are not saying anything either. So they're allowing this Operation Dudula to continue to run mad, run haywire. So this message is to Nigerian government. How much more, or how much hatred, how much cruelty has to happen to Nigerians in South Africa or Nigerians in Ghana before our Nigerian government starts to do something? What more needs to happen? What more needs to happen? Nigerian government, they do not care about us.
Tell your papa, she. Tell your papa, country hard. Tell your papa, she. Tell your papa, people they die.
Look at the issue of South Africans and Nigerians the last time about this Uber issue. Till tomorrow, I don't think Nigerian government came out to say anything about it, to address it. I don't think South African government came to address it. So, in a way, there's corruption in South African government, there's corruption in Nigerian government, and they are all keeping mute. Is it when it starts to a case of genocide, like it happened in Sudan and all of these places before, people will start talking? Or maybe before the nation, like the US, the humanitarian, the UN, will start saying something? Is it until innocent lives start to be taken by all this Operation Dudula, whatever they call themselves, or until we all turn ourselves, or we turn into each other like cannibals and living our lives anyhow? Is that when they would actually see that this thing has to stop? Because I don't understand. And like I said, this is the Nigerian government. Nigerian government do not care about us. Balablu is traveling every now and then, holiday abroad every now and then. Look at all the incessant killings in Nigeria. Look at the uncountable kidnappings happening in Nigeria. people are not safe in their own country, hence why they are leaving to go to other neighboring countries. And now it's obviously clear that these neighboring countries do not want Nigerians in their country. The last time it was the Ghanaians and the Igbo and Nigeria. Now it is now South Africans and Nigeria, and obviously other African countries. What other African country will Nigerians go that they will not say we don't want Nigerians anywhere again? Like, I am tired hearing all of this news, and our government kept mute. Nothing, because if Nigeria were to be safe, if Nigerians are not terrified of being kidnapped, if Nigerians are not terrified that they can't go to public health hospital, because at the end of the day, even our politicians, they don't go to public health hospital, they don't go to general hospital. Balablu now, anything, France, Atiku now, anything, London hospital, private hospital, because here in the UK, politicians are using the free NHS. Yes, I know NHS waiting list might be long. Maybe it is when it's a case of maybe, you know, the list is long, then most of them will go into their private healthcare, no. But everybody in diaspora, everyone that I know, at least some that I know, even our politicians, even it might not be open to, they still use the free NHS service. They still use the free NHS service. But our own government in our own country, our own politicians in our own country, they don't ever go to any general hospital. They don't go to Lutz. They don't go to what hospital again? No, they go abroad because they don't have confidence in the kind of healthcare that their government, the shitty healthcare that their government has created for the people. Because they don't have confidence in it, they can't use it, so they have to travel abroad, right? Nigerians, we are not ready. We are not ready. And I just pray that those who are in, you know, South Africa, Ghana, I just pray they are safe, because I get emotional when I talk about things like this. You know, but hey ho, guys, leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. What do you think about this Operation Dudula? I think South African government needs to step up. They need to call these people to order. It's a free health hospital. It's a general hospital, like, you know, everywhere, where healthcare should be free. Like, they are chasing children, pregnant women, and
A baby not getting immunization, what gonna come? You see, and we don't have money to go to the private clinic because it's too much expensive.
It's so annoying that it is the poor people that is going against the poor. The irony of that.
We're demanding the identity documents of anyone wanting to enter. The organization says immigrants should not benefit from state-funded health facilities. This woman showed her Mozambican passport, and Dudula vigilantes refused to allow her in.
We don't want any illegal, we don't want any foreigners. It's legal or illegal. We don't want them to get a health service here because our facilities are limited.
South Africa belongs to South Africa, Zimbabwe belongs to Zimbabweans, Nigeria belongs to Nigeria. We will not be having South Africans sidelined just because we're being told about human rights, which never apply in Zimbabwe.
We are entitled to everything first. Foreigners must go back home and go to their own hospital.
We're trying to protect our facilities in South Africa. We're coming to check the people that are coming in the clinics is original South African.
It is the poor people that is eating the bones of the poor people. Should it be so? Because if you look at all these people in this Operation Dudula now, some of them, they don't even know where their next meal is going to come from. And they are the ones going after the poor ones. Why? Should it be so? Like, South Africans, why are you like this? Why are some of you like this? And I understand it's not all South Africans that, you know, but it's still coming out of South Africa. Anyway, this is the end of my video, guys. Leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. As always, if you've watched this video till now and you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notifications, share this video, do not hesitate to join my membership, and I hope to catch up with you in another video. And South Africans, let love lead. Peace out.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearrange